our audience in Iowa City, North Liberty, and all the surrounding areas, Coralville. We don't want to forget anything. And we are approaching springtime. The weather is getting better. We are approaching March. And we are delighted to have 2 stars from our very, very good schools in Iowa City. And the 2 stars are 2 teachers from Kirkwood Elementary School. Kirkwood is one of the good schools in our district, 50 years old, you told me.
Yep.
So it's a little older than me, but it's a beautiful school, small size, and you have wonderful program. And we decided to invite you. We talked to Mrs. Gerling, your principal, about something that's unique that you do at Kirkwood and no other school is doing in the district. And that's the program that the 2 of you are planning, executing, and actually introducing to our audience in our community tonight. All right?
Okay.
On my right side is your name.
Jenna Lee Chamberlain.
And
Elizabeth Ross.
and you are,
I'm the teacher librarian at Kirkwood Elementary.
and you are,
I am the general music teacher.
and how did the idea came about? Tell our audience.
I'll let you speak to that.
About 6 years ago, my first year teaching, I was at Kirkwood part-time, and our librarian at the time, Christy Harper, and our assistant principal, I believe, Kate Jones, decided they wanted to do a reading activity with the whole school, partially as a way of building community. Our school is somewhat transient. We have a lot of students moving in and out, and so that community building is a really important piece for our school. As children move in and out, making sure that everyone feels like part of our building. So they wanted to do that and incorporate reading because, as we all know, reading is such an important thing for our kids, and we want them to be reading every day and to get excited about reading books. So they started the program, I think, 6 years ago with The Mysterious Journey of Edward Tulane, a story about a rabbit who goes on adventures. So, and the program has kept going now these past 6 years. And when Jenna Lee moved to Kirkwood, we decided to keep the tradition going.
Yeah. And so every year we pick a different book, and we try to have a book that spans grades K-6, which can be kind of hard to come up with, but every kid in the school will read the same book or listen to it from their teacher reading, and then they have activities and lessons that go with it, and then we end with our Kirkwood Reads Night, which is when our families and kids come to school for activities, and they each get a copy of the book as well.
Give me some examples of those activities that you just mentioned.
During the month, they'll do some like hands-on activities where they'll create things that go with the book.
Like Chocolate Factory, for instance.
Yeah, like I think some kids designed their own candy. Like they created their own candy and kind of, what would be their, their dream candy. And
they feed their teachers?
They didn't actually get to make it, but they, they're
invented it.
Yeah, imagination. So that's one thing.
They'll do character sketches, maybe of their favorite character, describing that person. When we had the first Kirkwood Reads, when we did The Mysterious Journey of Edward Tulane, they got to make rabbits in art class to go along with the story about the rabbit. And a lot of writing activities.
Yeah.
And vocabulary activities from the books as well.
It is fascinating that the policy of this district during maybe the last 2 years is to integrate arts with a lot of so-called core curriculum disciplines. And this has really a great benefit, whether it's visual arts or performing arts, music. Do you feel that this has a true impact on the learning process?
I think incorporating subjects using cross-curricular material does impact our students because they can see that music isn't just something you do one place and then you do PE somewhere else and then you do reading somewhere else. These things all in our real lives come together and work together to make a whole. To do music, a lot of music is poetry that's been set to a melody. So there's a connection there. I think they can see those connections when they come to my music classes, for example. As they get older, we talk about how reading can help them be better musicians because they can read lyrics to songs, they can learn music faster, and then we work on reading music. In reading music and in reading this written word, you need fluency in both of those things to make it sound good. So I think it helps them to see that in the real world, things aren't just boxed into different subjects. Everything's connected to each other.
I have no doubt that you know about the research that proves that the kids who excel in music, they do so well in math and calculus and geometry and all that because of the fact that the way the brain gets trained in music can be easily implemented on other disciplines. And in the meantime, they learn how to organize, how to problem solve, how to critically think, creatively think, and so on. What else do you have for us at Kirkwood other than this project?
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
At Kirkwood, you have
Like other events that we do,
yeah, you
or
told me in the production meeting, for instance, you talked about your role in technology.
yeah.
So
Yep.
let us elaborate on this.
Well, all of our classrooms now are have technology in them with the One Classroom campaign, which has been great. But we try to teach kids how to use technology both ethically and what's the word I'm looking for? Efficiently. So they're not just they're using it for a purpose. It's not just there for entertainment factor. In my position, I teach kids a lot of different types of technology, whether it's just basic word processing, they do keyboarding. We also work in PowerPoint and many other different forms, but I think it gives them a chance to learn how to do that because those are skills that they'll need
We'll
later in life.
probably talk about this later in more details after. I know that I understand that you brought a video that shows the activities of the kids, right?
Yep, from Kirkwood Reads. Yep.
And we will probably show this video soon now. And then after it's about 5 minutes, and then we go back, continue our conversation.
Okay, that
How's
sounds
that?
great. Sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
You wrote a story with your family? What did you write about? That your classroom was made out of chocolate and sweets. That would be a fun classroom to be in, I think.
Getting to see Mr. Menzel dressed up as Willy Wonka and getting to go get my little Wonka candy.
How did you get your Wonka candy?
In the classrooms, teachers were handing out like these little golden ticket things, and you got to scratch them off and whatever. It said underneath the golden, maybe it was paint or something. You gave that to the teacher, and then you got whatever candy it said.
My favorite part of Kirkwood Race Nights is when I got to videotape the kids like having fun or whatever, and like an interview basically about like their favorite things. I like that.
What did you think kids liked the most about Kirkwood Reads Night?
They liked dipping the food into the chocolate with a little what's that called?
Toothpick?
Yeah, with a toothpick. They like that.
They like that the best?
When they got the golden ticket, and when they showed my mom the candy I made.
The candy you made? What kind of candy did you make?
Chocolate yogurt.
Awesome.
I liked when Charlie got the last golden ticket. It was exciting and I was also really happy because it was kind of sad when they were sad because they weren't getting the tickets, and when they knew that they probably weren't gonna get one, but they got one.
At the, I had a lot of favorite parts, but my two favorite were when my TV got teleported up and came out of the TV when they had to pull them out, and when they shot up out of the glass elevator and went through the roof in Jordan's house.
Yes, when Violet turned to a blueberry, she was kind of funny.
It was pretty funny. Do you think she deserved to be turned into a blueberry?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she was so mean to Charlie when they were got to eat grass or whatever and all the stuff around. Yeah, she was mean. When the girl was when she was a bad nut and when she was a bad egg.
When she was a bad egg?
And bad nut.
And a bad nut. What happened to her? Was that Veruca Salt?
Uh-huh.
What happened to her?
She went down in the hole and she went down in the machine where all the bad nuts and eggs go to.
What do you think happened to her?
I think she went to the dump.
You think she went to the dump? Did you think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was a good book?
Yeah.
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe?
Yeah.
Why did you like Grandpa Joe?
I liked him because he was so hyper when he got to go.
He was excited.
Yeah.
And he got up out of bed, didn't he?
Yeah.
The first time he'd gotten out of bed in a while.
Yeah.
Joy?
Uh,
Why did you like Violet?
she was fun and she always chewed gum.
She always chewed gum. You like gum? Yeah. Me too.
Charlie was my favorite
Why was he your favorite?
because he didn't do anything, and he always followed the rules. He didn't do anything he wasn't supposed to. He was focused and stayed on task.
He was a good guy.
My favorite character.
Did you like Charlie Bucket or Violet Beauregard, or did you like Veruca Salt? Mike
Charlie
TV?
Bucket.
Why did you like Charlie?
Because he was nice.
He was nice.
Charlie.
Why?
Because at the end of the story, him and his grandfather was the last two people to last or whatever, and he was the last one to get to go to TV.
I liked Violet
You like Violet? Why did you like Violet?
because I like gum too.
You like gum too? Awesome.
I think it was pretty cool. It was a really cool book. I hope when you guys read it, I hope you guys like it too.
So was it a surprise for you, Elizabeth, to be selected to share with Jenna this project while you are a music teacher?
It wasn't. The first year that it started, I had volunteered just to be on the committee, and over time, things had evolved, and I have a leadership role. Jenna and Anita Gerling, our principal, and I kind of take charge of the project. Reading is something I've always loved. I know it always seems strange to tell people that I'm in charge of a reading event when they know that I'm the music teacher at school, but I've always had a love for reading, and I think the event is really important, so I've been happy to take that on. Interesting, our PE teacher helped take charge of one of the math nights at our school too, so we have a lot of people who are willing to step out in their areas of strength and volunteer on committees that are maybe outside of their teaching area.
Mm-hmm.
So can we simply say that Kirkwood represent really a good example of teamwork?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I felt between all of you and your principal. You're like one unit.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we have a very wonderful staff. I think the staff is what really makes Kirkwood the great school that it is, and I think that we really are like a family. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but we're very close, and we really put our kids first. And I think in a school like Kirkwood, it takes a really special staff to work with and educate the kids that we do.
You give credit definitely to your leadership too.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because usually the model for everybody would be the leader of the whole education process. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, Anita does a great job of creating an environment where staff want to work together and that we support each other rather than judging each other or criticizing each other. We work together. We know that everyone has moments where they'll need help, and we're not afraid to ask each other for help. And I think we work really well together.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that you are so close to Northwest Junior High, does this have, well, my daughter said we go there a lot of time. I mean, we exchange. Is that, does this help, you know?
Being close to the junior high? I think it helps more when kids get into sixth grade especially.
Fine.
I think the kids really like being that close to Northwest, and they get to walk over there, and I feel like they have, I don't know, they feel like it's not such a foreign place to them, I think,
Right.
in that sense.
And every spring we have a day called Northwest Gives Back, where student volunteers come to Kirkwood for, I think it was the whole day or part of the day.
That's what they
But,
were.
and they volunteer in classrooms.
mentioning,
So, and I think a lot of them choose to come to Kirkwood. There are other service opportunities that they could
They
take
just
part in,
cross the
and
street, right?
Yeah.
yep, they come to Kirkwood and they help out teachers and help our staff.
And I think a lot of them are former students that they want to come back and see what's going on and help out when they can. So
Jenna, you have been there for 4 years now. Before that, you worked for 1 year at Hills
Yep.
Elementary. Do you see any differences between your role here and there?
when I was at Hills, I was only half-time because of the school size. And I loved working there. I loved the staff at Hills. Really what made me switch was a full-time position, but it's a wonderful, I'm happy I made the decision to move to Kirkwood. I really don't see, I mean, the role's a little bit different just because of time and the amount and type of students that we work with. I think working at Kirkwood is a little bit more of a challenge, but it's a challenge that I like, and I feel like I'm challenged every day by my peers and my students, and I think it's making me a better teacher to work at a school like Kirkwood.
Statistically speaking, Kirkwood has less diverse population.
It has a very
than-
diverse,
than Hills.
has
Is
a
it?
more diverse population than Hills.
You have more diverse population now.
I think
I
we're
think so.
close to
Oh.
between 60 and 70% diversity as far as culture, I think.
Okay.
And about the same if
It's a good piece.
I guess
of
I don't know what their
information because,
how they.
Yeah. Well, after in the next show, we will have one of the VIPs in the district. We'll ask him about this. You know, he
Yeah.
will tell us. Chase Ramey, Dr. Ramey will tell us about this. But yeah, when I started, Kirkwood was pretty homogeneous school.
I know that the population has changed
Yeah.
drastically in the past, probably since, I don't know,
I think it was before I
Before
started,
you
but I think
started,
in
but
the
it's-
past 10 years probably.
it's
so
changed a lot,
recently.
and we're very diverse.
Yeah.
Very diverse, I
And
would
part of it,
say.
our neighborhoods
good.
have gotten more diverse around Kirkwood, and we also have an English language learner program, an ELL program, which pulls some students who would maybe be sent to another school, but they are sent to our school so they can fit in their program. We have a lot of students from Africa in the program, Hispanic students, and we've been recently getting some more Asian students, I think, are kind of our main students in there. So there's a lot of different diversity just through the ELL program as well.
Well, the leading administration definitely are trying to create this kind of equity between schools, so there will be no discrepancy between what's happening here, what's happening there, and get them more or less at the same level. And I think what you just mentioned proves that, you know, that there is no differences as when I started, you know. When I started, one school had about 2%, the other one had 79% minority or reduced lunch,
Yeah.
free or reduced lunch. Okay, that's wonderful. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to take you back to technology.
Okay.
Because there was always this nagging question in my mind that you you have smart boards, right?
Yep, yes.
And do you think that this invasion, let us say, of technology in our classroom was at the expense of one-on-one connection between the librarian, teacher, and the kid? Did it create more separation between you and your little clientele?
No, it
No.
didn't. I would say no. If anything, I think that the technology is such a huge part of my job. I mean, I feel like it's changed the role of librarian to the fact that now we have to focus on both literature and technology and information literacy. And I think that that's just the changing times. I think kids need to be prepared for the future, and technology is the future. And they're going to have to know how to use it, and they're going to have to know how to use it ethically and efficiently. And so I think that me personally, I'm okay with that, but I like technology. So
Definitely you enjoy your job.
yes,
right?
I do.
And you planning to stay
Yes,
doing the same job
yes,
for quite some time.
yes.
And now, how do you come up with the idea of the book that's going to be the one that you select?
The past couple of years, we've pulled different ideas. This past year, since it's Kirkwood's 50th year, 2014 is Kirkwood's 50th year as a school, and we started by looking at books that were written about 50 years ago, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was one of them. We had looked at a couple other books. One of them, the reading level was probably going to be a little difficult for some of our younger students, and so we choose some options. We look through the committee, generally myself, Anita Gerling, and there's probably about 5 or 6 other teachers who help us, and we read through the book and then offer feedback on which books we think would be the best for our, all of our students in the age range. So yeah, this last year, since it's our 50th, we looked at books, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was first published, I think, in 1964, so that was a good choice. It's kind of a well-loved story. We saw at our family night that a lot of parents seemed to know, either having read the book as children or have seen the movies that have come out about it, so they were able to connect with their kids on the book a lot too. I don't know if you have anything to add with that.
Yeah, I think it's just finding a book that all of our students can relate to, and sometimes that's hard. And I know last year we actually did a chapter book and then picture books that were about the same characters, and so then they kind of paired together, so they were getting the same kind of content, but we try to find a chapter book that all grade levels can enjoy. And I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory worked really well because the teacher, it's a great oral lit book, and so the kids are really enjoying it, and they're still talking about it. And
something else we like to look at is there a way that this book can keep our students interested in reading more? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, for example, Roald Dahl, the author, has written a lot of other children's books. And so we're hoping to get kids excited about reading Roald Dahl books. The book we read last year, was it Touchdown, maybe? Mm-hmm. Was it called, by Rondé and Tiki Barber? There were several sequels to that. So sometimes we try and pick a book that will have options for kids to keep reading in that series, or a similar type of book, if they enjoyed what they have read already.
Do kids have any role in deciding the theme or the book?
not really. It's more of a committee thing, but we always keep our kids in mind when we're
When
choosing.
you say committee, I mean, are they represented in this?
No, we don't have students on the committee,
Okay.
but
It's an interesting idea
Yeah, it
for
is
the
a good
future,
idea.
possibly.
Maybe you would
Lisa?
include it in the future. Especially, I know, some kids are mature enough to, participate or contribute, and in this case, it would be more practical. I mean, it's a suggestion.
yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
So now let's go to the atmosphere in the school, and how do you feel about the parent-teacher connections in the community there?
What I see, and as the music teacher, I don't have as many parent connections as maybe the classroom teacher of a particular child. But I see the school really trying to work together with parents. If a student has a problem or an issue, it's a process of trying to work together as a team to solve this. Our PTO is great. They ask how they can help. And so I think it's teachers trying to work with parents and parents trying to work with teachers as a team to make sure their kids gets what's best for them at school.
And I think we try to have events like Kirkwood Reads to help bring the school together
That
and
night,
have a
yeah.
community night for our parents to come and see what their kids have been up to and connect to what they're doing
We
at
call
school.
it family night, right?
Yeah, family
Well, and
night.
it also gives them a chance to just be at Kirkwood and talk with the teachers more. Some parents only see their kids' teacher at conferences otherwise. So these events give them another chance to make that one-on-one connection with their child's teacher.
Well, on this note, I think we've got to thank you for a wonderful evening with us, representing your great school, and to convey our best regards to the rest of the team there and to your leader and your parents and, of course, your students. We always on Channel 21 and Channel 18. Channel 18 is Public Access TV, where we are now, the headquarter of Public Access TV, who hosts our program. And this program is always aired on the Channel 21, the educational channel.
Okay.
And this is now part of Dr. Merle's interest is that we show this to the community as much as possible. So we are on YouTube now. So if parents they don't have cable, or they don't have a chance to see it on 18 or 21, they can turn to YouTube tomorrow and they will see the program.
Awesome.
So thank you very much. And,
Thank you.
welcome,
Thank you.
and we would like to see you again.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, have a very good evening.